We're live. We're on air. Welcome to the first episode of Pop-Litical Read. I'm your host, Jeremy Garcia. You've made it. You've arrived. It's nice of you to show up. I'm so happy that you're here. And I'm joined by my amazing friend, Angela Rosetio at Higher Learning Coaches. Angela, welcome to the podcast.
Jeremy, thanks for the invite. I'm honored to be your first guest.
So I wanted to have you, obviously, because you're one of my closest friends. And I also thought it would be really funny since this is the second iteration of a podcast that I'm doing. The last time, I also had a very good friend that was from another country, originally the UK. So I thought it would be amazing to do another international episode on our first go around. And you obviously live, and for those of you that don't know Angela, she lives in Canada. So she is our northern neighbor. She's our upstairs neighbor. So I thought it would be a fun international perspective from our friends across the northern border.
Canada, eh?
So there's a couple of things we have to talk about. One, Rosetio, why I called you Rosetio. Her last name is actually Rosario. And then secondly, if you remember when we went on vacation, there was the hey versus the A. So we definitely have talked about that. But maybe we should just start with like how we became friends and like how we know each other and like welcome every listener into our little group chat here.
Sounds good.
All right. So why don't you tell them your perspective and then I'll tell them my perspective of how we became friends, which is probably really not that different, but.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't remember the year or anything, but met you when
Year
you
was
got hired.
1910.
Right, 1922. When we worked at Bumble, and you were the newest member on our team out of the Chicago area. That's when you lived in the cold state. And you started, and our director, like shortly after, had taken some time off. And then I think me and yourself and Jenna just kind of formed, the integral trauma bond with work. Just trying to get through. And I think we immediately became friends from there. And what I think is really cool is we were work friends that talked every single day, but I don't think we met right away in person. Like, I think there was a long
It
period
was
of
like
time.
6 months or something before we even actually saw each other in person.
Yeah. Crazy, like just on a work trip. So for two people and we've maintained that friendship now for what, 9 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
And like all of my friends find it hilarious that I talk to you every single day. You live in a different country. Our careers have taken so many different paths since we worked together, but yet here we are. So really cool.
I would agree with all that. I would also say that it is super, and yes, it's trauma bonding for sure. We went through the fire 100%. And I also think that we, especially you, me, and Jenna, the dynamic trio, we're all Scorpios. So that is like another layer of bonding and intensity of how we show up at work, how we show up in our friendships. And I think as people will hear throughout our conversation today as well, we are super similar, but we have extremely different perspectives, but we are super similar in the way that we react to things, the way that we view things that we're interested in. We have so many common interests. So I think that also, layered into it. But yeah, it is insanely wild that in the 8 to 10 years, however long it's been that we've been friends, that we probably have seen each other about 5 times in person, but we talk literally every single day. Yeah. So I think it's just it's an amazing and unique thing.
For sure.
Tell us a little bit, Ange, about what you do now. You said our careers have taken these crazy turns. What are you doing now? And also, I asked you to bring a drink that represents your week. So just tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, since you and I work together, my career totally took a massive shift, and I left beauty after 20 years and shifted into the cannabis industry as legalization happened here in Canada. And from there, I have now sprung out of corporate and started my own consultancy business. And I'm, yeah, right. So many things going on. So my drink of the week is an espresso martini because I am running
Yes.
on caffeine, fuel, and alcohol at this point. I'm so busy running three businesses, all that successful businesses. Yeah, there's no extra time in the day. So if I can create it with a couple extra caffeine hits, I'm gonna.
I love it. And
Yeah.
you know what's hilarious? So for all of you that are listening, all 10 of you that are listening, Ange told me right when we got on that this was going to be her drink of the week. And right before I came, my best friend cut my hair and brought me a little gift. And if you are watching the video version, you'll be able to see this. If you're not watching the video version, it is a coffee cup that says, "Bitch, you better have my coffee," but the handle is in the shape of a gun. So I know that sounds a little bit violent, and maybe if you're not watching it,
Very
but it is
American.
actually, yeah, exactly. But it is so cute and so funny that Angie's drink of the week is an espresso martini, and I got a coffee related mug right before we came on. So
Just like
kismet
I
for our
do.
first episode. Yeah.
Mm.
All right, Ange. So let's talk about some of the drama that has gone on this week. So there's so many things that we have to talk about, but let's start
Like,
with
where do
one
we
of
start?
them. Yeah, I think we should start with one of them that is super close to your heart and super close to most millennials' heart, Sex
Mhm.
and the City, and the hate watching that is going on right now with And Just Like That, to the point where Sarah Jessica Parker is on a massive PR tour trying to salvage the reputation of, by default, Sex in the City, but really And Just Like That. And I know you're an avid watcher, so you got 60 seconds. Tell me everything.
Oh, well, I think it all went downhill when Aiden spit in his hand for me.
What was that, like
Um,
episode one of this last season?
Yes. And like my friend and I, we get together every single Monday and we were so excited for this show because I mean, Sex in the City through our 2000s, we were like the same age. It was very much our lifestyle. Like we watched it religiously. When Just Like That first came back, the first season, amazing. Like I was one of those people
100%.
who loved it. And was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we needed. And then the second season came out, banger, like loved it and enjoyed the fact that Aiden had come back.
I wouldn't say it
I
was a
liked it.
banger.
I
Okay.
liked it. Like I enjoyed it from like just a nostalgia, I think, background of like my relationship with the show and was really, really excited for this season. And oof, it's a toughie. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see it through. But
So would you say that you're
it
hate
wasn't.
watching it, or would you say that
Yes.
you
I'm
okay.
watching it with like one eye, like
Yeah.
this, like, oh God.
I feel like we were talking about season two and you were already starting like your eye was like you were doing an eye test. Like it was open, but you were doing a little bit of a squint.
For me, it's Aiden. Like, I'm not a massive Aiden fan. I never was. Big was her man,
It was
her
big. Yeah.
soulmate. It was big for me all the time. I just never could take Aiden seriously. Um, and I still can't. So I also
I was
like,
so down for season one, but then when the whole Che storyline came in, I was like, I guess I can't. It's too much. The show seems to be going in such a strange direction or not really know what direction it's going in. And it just
mhm,
felt like, and I mean, tell me your perspective, but like the show was so different than the movies for me. Like the show was so much about
yeah,
like dating and navigating your life and personal friendships and romantic relationships. And then the movies felt just more like fashion, glamour, glitzy. Like I felt like I lost a little bit of the relationship piece.
yeah, same.
Yeah, and then I felt like we came back a little bit to that in the first season of just like that. And then I felt like it just I don't know what happened in season 2. I was like, no, I'm done. I'm good.
It's almost like Sex and the City was also always that, that show that really rode the line.
Uh-huh.
And now times are completely different. And I feel like they're trying to add that wow factor, but in a very safe way, which is just translating as, I don't know, like not super authentic or like genuine to the franchise, if you will.
100%.
Mhm.
Okay. So let us talk about the press tours that are going on right now. I am obsessed with this press tour season.
Mhm.
We could go back to the challengers. We could go into Wicked and like the holding space and
Mhm.
gay media and queer media and all of that stuff that went on with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande during the Wicked tour.
Mhm.
But there seems to be a trend right now of like the Superman press tour, the Materialist press tour, the Jurassic Park press tour, where it's this very flirty energy between the male leads and then this kind of strange dynamic with the female lead. And
Mhm.
I am completely suckered in. My algorithm keeps popping up all of these amazing press tours. I haven't seen any of the fucking movies. I don't even know if I really want to see the movies, but I'm so obsessed with the press tour, and it is
Yeah.
so funny. And they're doing lie detector tests, and they're talking about wiki feet, which I didn't even know was a thing. And it's so
Neither did I.
flirtatious, and like the Dakota Johnson Materialist one where she's like a matchmaker or whatever, she's like
Mhm.
trying to get Chris Evans and Pedro Pascal to like make out. I think it's Chris Evans. Is it Chris Evans or Chris Pines? I don't know. I get them confused.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. They're both cute, so it's totally fine.
Yeah.
um and I just think it's so funny, like even on the press or the red carpet for one of the premieres, Pedro Pascal could not be there. So then Dakota Johnson had Chris Evans like kiss a cutout of him, which is just
Yes.
so funny. Like, what do you make of these press tours? Have you seen them pop up on your algorithm?
Yep, I have. So yeah, the materialist has been popping up quite a bit. And then also the Samurai Turned Pretty trio also is a very good,
Okay, we're
cute,
gonna have to talk
fun,
about that whole
flirty
thing because like
press
I don't know
tour.
anything about them, but I'm loving the press tour.
Um,
Continue.
but I think it's just for me, I'm like, I think it's really fun that they're capitalizing on trios of these movies that have like impeccable connection and energy between them, and it just seems really natural. And like every time that I'm seeing one of these tours or an interview, it just seems like they all became really great friends, which to me, just I think there's really good casting happening out there.
Okay, yes. And I mean, obviously, they're on a work related event. We became friends on a work related event. So, yes, do I believe that it is possible? Obviously, I
Mhm.
do. Do I think it's a little bit of a like PR formula right now?
Yeah,
100%. Is the
totally.
formula 100% working on me? Yes. It's like if
1000%.
somebody was mad at me, if I was mad at somebody and they offered me a spicy margarita, I wouldn't be mad anymore. So like it's a
Right.
formula that's tried and true. It totally works.
Yeah.
It does feel organic because the chemistry does feel really good, but it definitely feels like a formula.
Yeah, for
Do you feel
sure.
that?
And I mean, if it's working, then why not? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the time. Like, right now, everybody wants something more from everything that we're watching. We want it to
Yeah.
be more real life. Like, are you like the love and the energy, we want that to be real. So I think that yeah, it's definitely a formula that's working. They should keep doing it.
Okay. I'm obsessed with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I could sit at home. I don't watch YouTube, but I could sit on my couch and do like a full binge watch of these breast tours and just like
Yeah.
put it on a loop, put it on a playlist and sit with my glass of wine and I would be a very happy camper. I don't even need to see the movie. I could save the $15. I don't even think it's $15, probably like $25 to go see a movie. You can
Yeah,
see
I
how
would say
often I actually
$15. Where
go.
do you live? Is it? Did we just wake up in 2008?
Sometimes I do wish
$15.
I could wake up in 2008. I mean, it's
Honestly, same.
Okay, and the last part of these press tour that I have to talk about is I
Yeah.
think I'm obsessed. Like I know I say obsessed a lot, but I'm like truly obsessed. Like dream about it. I'm gonna marry him someday. I mean, I have to meet him first, but Jonathan Bailey, and they're calling it the like season of the slutty little glasses. Have you heard of this?
Uh-huh. No, I haven't, but
Okay.
I love a slutty pair of little sunglasses.
No, they're not sunglasses, they're like reading glasses. He has like all of these little like tiny little glasses that he even made. He's so smart and so like so good for people and good for the community. He created like a charity around like so when he was in I'm going back a little bit. When he was in Fellow Travelers with Matt Bomer, which was like if you haven't watched it and if I haven't told everybody to watch it, you need to watch it. It is the best
Watch it.
show ever. It is so romantic and heartbreaking and takes you on such a journey and the two of them together are just magnetic. Anyways, in the show, Jonathan Bailey when he first meets Matt Bomer, he doesn't drink. He's like such a good boy, so innocent that he's at a bar and he orders a glass of milk. So then he created like a charity called the Shameless Foundation or something, and the whole press around it was like a glass of milk. And I'm gonna get all this wrong, so I'll put it somewhere on like get it right and I'll tag it. So with the slutty little
Yeah.
glasses, he created like another charity and foundation, and it's just like he takes these viral moments and makes them meaningful and impactful. And I just
Cool.
love that, and it just makes me fall in love with him even more. So Jonathan Bailey, I know you're not listening, but if somebody sends it to you, I am single and I am here. So I can wear some slutty little
I
glasses. I can be
know.
your slutty little glasses. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you
Anyways,
could. Yeah, you could.
um, I'm obsessed with him. Okay, so speaking of relationships, we have to talk about this whole Coldplay side piece, getting caught on a jumbotron. You go to a lot of concerts. Have you ever seen this play out?
No, I wish I had. Dang. That is some hot tea, honestly. I'm living for this content this week. Sucks to be them also. I
100%.
don't know. I think my favorite part was his apology, or lack thereof, to be honest.
What did he
But
even
what a
say? What do you
wild
even
time.
say to that?
What do you say? Like, okay, you're still not going to take accountability for it? You were on camera.
Yeah.
Every, everyone saw you. This was not Coldplay's problem. Like they are not the problem here.
No.
So yeah, I can guarantee that any sporting event, concert, I'm going to be watching that Jumbotron a lot more now for sure
Do you think
because
that side
that's
pieces are
great.
going to get brought to these events now, or they are just going to be, they're just going to the home, to the hotel?
Oh, they're back in the Motel 6, baby.
Yes, baby.
Sucks to be side pieces now.
I
Life
know you're not going to
ruined,
get to go anywhere. Like what? Oh, this is
right?
awful. And why is it always a bitch in HR? It's always a bitch in HR that is hooking up with
Never trust.
everybody.
You just give it.
No.
Any corporation I have ever worked for, there has always been a rumor of some sort with the woman from HR and somebody in leadership. So, I mean,
It's not even always
this
leadership.
just
I remember
confirms it.
one of the first jobs I had, there was this guy in HR and
Mhm.
he had it out for me. He hated me. I don't know what it is. He was always trying to catch me. He couldn't catch me because I don't do anything wrong. And then all of a sudden, he was dating this boy from Mac. And then he got fired for it. And I was like, see, this is what happens when you play dirty. I don't know what the Nene Leaks line is, but like, you're never going to win when you play dirty. Okay, so you're trying to come for me. And guess what? You got caught up in your own mess. So clock
Exactly.
that.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think this is hilarious. I would love to work at that company, man. Like, the
I
tea
know.
in that office right now must
I
be
just want to like, do
boiling
people
hot.
still hang around water coolers? Like, where do they go? Do they go to the free coffee machine? Like, I don't know what it is, but everybody's like on Slack. They're on Teams. They're like
Oh,
talking about. There's like tons of group
you
chats
imagine
happening.
just what, like, I would imagine everybody who works there after seeing that was like dying to go to the office like the one time because
Yes,
everybody wants to talk about it.
Oh, 100%. They're like, we're meeting up for lunch. Like, what time are we going to get coffee?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to
Zero
like
work is getting done there for like the next month and a half, like
a
for sure.
hundred
It'll be like
percent.
raining in kittens from this whole scandal.
Wait,
And
is that
like
a
I can't wait
Canadian
to see
saying?
like,
Raining in kittens? I never heard
oh
that.
no, like herding kittens, it's not easy.
I've heard of
Um,
herding cats. I've never heard of herding kittens. You start
yeah,
maybe
okay,
it
well,
starts with the kittens up north, and then they end up like as a cat when they cross the border.
yeah, maybe. Crossing the border is a whole other podcast.
Ooh, child. Don't even talk about it right now. It's too
We're
hot.
not going there.
That's gonna be a little bit later down the road. Okay. So from Coldplay to SVU. Dun 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 dun
That
dun
show.
dun dun dun. So Mariska Hargitay, which is like the hardest name to pronounce, and I definitely cannot spell it. We're just gonna call her Liv.
Yeah.
So Liv just dropped her new documentary about finding her mom,
Can't
Jane
wait.
Mansfield, which I didn't even know that was her mom.
You didn't?
And no, I didn't know anything. Did you know that?
Yes, I knew that.
How did you know
I
that?
went, 'Cause I went through a period of time in my life where I like loved that period of time, like the Marilyn Monroes, the
Yeah,
Audrey Hepburns, the James Mansfield. And yeah, I knew that she had had a daughter. And then I've been a long time watcher of SVU.
same.
So I know everything about,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. All right. Excuse me. I know you know everything. Okay, so what did you think when you saw that she was putting out this documentary?
I can't wait because I think there's a real dynamic too where they like she didn't know who her real father was until really late in life, and I think that that's really interesting. And yeah, I just want to know more about her mom and like that whole side of the story. So it is on my list as soon as it's available here in Canada because
Well,
Olivia
as
has
someone who
definitely been.
has watched it, you
Mhm.
are in for a tour de force. It is
Ooh.
amazing. It is a complete roller coaster of emotions. And
Amazing.
it really takes you through the mindset of an evolved person, right? And you really have to be ready and willing and open to go on certain journeys in your life. And sometimes you're not willing to have that journey. And the reason why I say that is right. She knew obviously who her mother was, but she didn't really want to explore it. She wanted to distance herself from it. And now she's in her
Yeah.
50s and she's ready for that chapter. And she talks all about that journey and being ready to open the door. It is
Cool.
absolutely incredible. You are going to love it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So good.
Yeah, she's been like she has to be by far my favorite on screen character. Like Olivia Benson will have my heart. So I
So
can't wait.
you were telling me before we got on, when we were just having a regular chat this morning, as we normally do, that Liv has taught you so many things as a woman on how to protect yourself. And I'm sure you're not alone in that. She was recently on Call Her Daddy podcast, which is amazing, which also has a really great documentary out. If you can tell, I love documentaries. But
Watched it this morning.
oh, the Call Her Daddy documentary?
I
Okay,
did,
let's
yeah.
have a
I
little
did.
side piece conversation on that. What were your thoughts? Because that was one of my inspirations to restart doing a podcast.
Podcast. Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. I found it really interesting, like learning a little bit more about Alex herself and like where she comes from and like where her drive comes from and her parents and her siblings and that dynamic. So I think after watching that this morning, I like now have a different perspective and yeah, like get it, girl. Like she's got like such a good support system and yeah, like I've only listened to a few of the podcasts because as my business partner would say, I'm the worst at listening to podcasts. I start them and never finish them. She sends me at least 3 a week and then is surprised when I'm like, no, I didn't listen
Well,
again.
I know one that you're not going to
So
fall off from. So
Yeah, I think
Fingers
so
crossed.
because now I'm a little bit more invested in the story because for a really long time I was like, who is she? Where did she even come from? Because it was like one day she just arrived and was famous and everybody wanted to be on her podcast. And for me, there was a misconnection there. So this really, it
Yeah.
helped kind of get to know her a bit better.
I hadn't really heard of her until it was like a big deal that Kamala Harris was going to be on the show and be interviewed by her. And
Mm,
then that was like the first introduction that I had to her. And then then I started to see her more in my feed and hear a little bit more things. And then I watched the documentary and I was like, this woman is amazing. She's brilliant. I love her why. And then I just started watching, I watched them on YouTube, some of her episodes, and I love how authentic she is. I love the connection that
yeah.
she has. I love how smart she is. I love the guests that she has. So she's become like a little inspiration for me. So I really love it. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
that's
go
awesome.
back to Olivia, to Captain Olivia Benson, who we have
Yes.
been with since she was Detective Olivia Benson. We've been on her career journey and her motherhood journey. But
Oh, yeah.
what are like three big things that you learned from Olivia?
Well, yeah, like I mean, as a woman, I think, and every woman listening would completely understand this, you're always looking over your shoulder, right? And I think that that's why a lot of women have gotten into watching crime shows or police shows. You pick things up. And like Olivia, I would say, because of watching the show as regularly as I had, like knock on wood, if anything were to ever happen, I think that she like listening to her give the speech to the victim, like giving them the strength to be able to really step forward and be brave and share their story if needed. I think because of my connection to the show, I would have that strength and, be able to really stand up for myself. I also think that her instincts, like I've really like loved the character and I'm always interested on like how she reads people and how good she is at that. So that's like another thing that's always enthralled me and I think that I would take into my like real life. And then some survival skills like this. She's a bad bitch. And I think that if I were to get myself into like any, like if I was kidnapped or something, like they would rue the day. That's it.
Do
They would.
you
Because
think that like the episode when Liv is kidnapped by that one guy, the crazy guy that like escaped from the
oh
thing
yeah,
and he like assaulted her and everything, and then when she finally got free, like she beat the shit out of him, do you think
I
that
would have
that would
killed
be
him.
you? Yeah,
I would have killed
probably.
him unapologetically.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd choose violence. I would. Sorry.
I mean, he kind of had it coming. Like he adopted you. Like it's you or
Right.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and that's, yeah, he would be dead for sure. So good on Olivia for not taking it to the next step. And I know she wanted to for sure.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, had that kid not come, the maid not come with her daughter or whatever, it would have been a different
Mhm.
story, I think. But what I love about that too is that it shows that we are so human, that all
Mhm.
of us are flawed. We don't always do the right thing. I mean, she got on the
Yeah.
stand and lied about it, right? And she had to lie about it
Yeah.
for years.
Mhm.
And she had to hide that, and probably Finn and Amanda are probably the only people that knew, besides, I mean, Barbara knew,
Mhm.
right? Barbara knew, like her crew
Probably.
knew.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
but it's just one of those things, like you don't always make the right decision, but like that's real life.
No. Yeah. And like what is the right decision when you're trying to survive
Yeah.
something that traumatic, right? Like, what is the right decision? I think that whatever your instinct is in that moment is what you go with. And mine would be crazy.
I
I'd
don't
go
think
the
you'd be
crazy.
alone in that. I think I'd probably do the same thing. I think a
Mm-hmm,
lot of our
mm-hmm.
listeners would probably do the same thing. I mean, you have it coming. Like you were
Yeah,
gonna kill me. You were gonna,
exactly.
or what am I supposed to say? Unalive. You were gonna
Self-defense.
unalive me.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna like get you back. Like
for sure.
what? It's a self defense
Yeah.
law. Self defense law. fine.
Self-defense. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, hello. But yeah, I think those are my three biggest like takeaways from my, love of Olivia Benson.
Do you think she should get with Stabler?
Yes, 1000%. I love them.
And I know you
They
watch his
were.
show, which I don't watch his show, but do you like the spinoff? Do you like the crossovers that they've had?
I like all the crossovers. The show itself, yeah, I mean, it's super interesting. I like that, crime show. So it gets
Yeah,
really like in depth with a different like segregation of crime. But yeah, I'm living for the only reason I'm watching it is for the crossover.
yeah,
And for the moment that like her and Stabler like just take it to the next level already. It's only been, I don't know, 20 years. Like
totally.
this has
So
been
she says on the Call Her Daddy podcast, Alex asked her, "Do
Mhm.
you think that Benson and Stabler should get together?" And she said on the last episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I would want. I don't need to see their relationship play out, but they better end up together. And like when is this last episode? I
Probably
guess
not
it's
for
gonna be
years. It just got renewed for
yeah,
another season.
they
So
get together when they're 75.
100%. What do
Yeah.
you think about Amanda and Carisi's love life playing out on the show?
Yeah, I like it. I think that Amanda needed somebody like Carisi to like settle her
He's such
down,
a
and
good
he
guy.
really like understood her and like yeah, like loves her kids as his own. I love all of the OG cast members. I really do miss Nick though. Like I loved Nick.
Nick was good.
Nick was good. But yeah, that's a show that I just never miss. So
I always think it's funny that Carisi played a like a perp before he got cast as Carisi. He was like some scrummy janitor or something in one of the episodes that turned out to be the perp. Did you know that?
no.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to go back. And same with Casey Novak. She was one of
Oh
three
yes.
women that assaulted a man and she went to
Yeah.
jail. So they love
Mhm.
to do that. They love to like
I
kind of
do.
like, because they find it like an actor or whatever that they love. Then they bring them back and like make them a series regular. And I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen them before.
Yeah. They did some hard time.
Yeah.
And then they come back as a detective and it's like it's hard when they do that. But
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, it's funny.
So funny. All
Mhm.
right, so let's move on to some serious shit that happened this week. So, speaking of Olivia Benson, what do you think that she would make of all this fucking trial with Diddy getting off and Cassie getting up there like 8 months pregnant, telling her true story, literally having
Mhm.
video evidence, and there's so much documentation around what happened to her and to her story, and yet we still can't believe women. Like, what do you think? What do you think? And what do you think Olivia would do in this situation?
Yeah, like I feel like we've seen this episode 1,000 times, right? Like Olivia does her job as the detective, gets the victim to come out and be brave, share her story. And often on the show, they don't have enough evidence to back it, and the case falls apart. Well, in this case, all of the evidence in the world, and it still falls apart. It's at the end of the day, like society as a whole need to start taking what women say for face value, especially in a situation such as this. It's sickening as a woman to know, how much was shown in court. There was weeks of this trial and evidence after evidence, videos that we were seeing online and on like social media. And like, I'm completely baffled that it went the direction that it did. Like, how? And the only
Money.
that just makes me feel as a woman, yeah, it's money. And the fact that it's just easy because the courts haven't believed women for years, centuries, right? In situations. And
And it's
it's
devastating
sad.
because it
Like,
feels
I
like
think
we're
this is
making
really setting.
progress. Yeah, it feels like we
Mhm.
make progress and
Yeah.
then we get pulled back by shit like this. And you think,
Yes.
it took years for Diddy to even get prosecuted, to be brought to court. it took, like you said, so much strength for victims to come forward. And then for all of that to like be literally handed in your face and then you say not guilty. It's like, what the actual fuck?
What the actual fuck? And yeah, this is just going really hand in hand with like everything that's happening at like against women, you know. Yeah, it's this alone has set us back. This trial all by itself. So it's yeah, it's so sad. And I think that it's gonna really play out with women who are in really shitty situations, domestic abuse, violent, like, you know, they're gonna think twice now again, like they're not gonna have the strength to come forward and report their abusers because they don't believe that the justice system will have their back. And I don't blame them.
It's disgusting. It's unexcusable, but it's our reality. Is it different in Canada than it is in the US with specifically with sexual assault and high profile cases, influence, money? Does it play out differently than it does in the US?
Well, I mean, yeah, our justice system is a little bit different. I mean, it is also broken. I will be 100% honest there. But I think that if this, like, let's just say, you know, this trial had taken place in Canada, I think that it would have had a better chance of actually, like, him getting pleaded out or pleaded guilt or found guilty. Sorry, because I feel like money plays a lot less of a factor here because
Mm.
we know we look to you guys for the celebrity status and like all of that. I don't feel like we've had like a lot of that here in Canada for me to really, you know, base a full opinion on. But yeah, like I think that if Diddy was Canadian and it happened here, he would have been sentenced to life for sure.
We have to make sure that we follow that kind of
Mhm.
structure of accountability because we don't do that well. I mean, look at Trump. He was found legally responsible for rape, not criminally responsible, but legally responsible for rape. We didn't believe the women, even though we did convict him, but then
A
we
lot of people go
promoted
back.
him, if you will, into president. And now there's
Yeah.
all this stuff going on with the Epstein files, whether or not it's a distraction
Oh,
or
what
not
files?
from the Epstein files. Oh yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a minute. And it's like, are we supposed to believe that this man that has been found legally responsible for rape would not be friends with a pedophile and a rapist? I mean, there's first of all, there's tons of videos of them going places, photographed together, and birds of a
Wild.
feather flock together, right? To use another change of
Yeah.
expression. What do you think about the US Attorney General Pam Bondi, Blonde Barbie, that is shutting it down, saying nothing to see here, and then also firing everyone, over 20 different career prosecutors that worked on cases that Trump was involved in because he tends to break a lot of laws. We know this. This is not shocking. Let me just say it bluntly. Do you think there's a special place in hell for women that don't stand up for other women?
Yes, I do.
Like, I hate
Like
to bring
that type of a
race
woman
in.
is the same type of woman who would turn a blind eye to their husband or brother or uncle abusing a child in their family. Like those are the same type of women and they're just as bad as the abuser. They're just as bad
I co-sign it.
as the pedophile. It's yeah, it's guilty by association. I think it happens a lot more than people want to recognize. And yeah, I think it turns my stomach. It's disgusting. And like those women are I'm afraid of those women more than
Mm.
sometimes the abuser.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're enabling it, they're supporting it, they're co-sign it. They
Yeah.
make you feel
Like what's
comfortable,
worse?
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I
Disgusting.
hate to bring her gender into the situation because she is holding the office of Attorney General. But
Mhm.
when the Department of Justice is supposed to be independent of the office of the president. And the
Yeah.
legal system is really supposed to look at things in an objective manner and not
Mhm.
their personal connections or their fealty to the so-called king, right? We just recently, like last month or 2 months ago, had the No Kings protest all across the US. And I
Mhm.
just can't help but untwine or unpack those two things of her fealty to him as
Mhm.
somebody that was put in there under his, they're all appointed, but clearly she's appeasing him versus really, I feel, owning the
Yeah.
office and the responsibility of a legal objective,
Yeah.
being objective in the situation and really owning the responsibilities of that
She
office.
was she was placed in that position, like she didn't get this position probably because built on her candor or her education or what she brought to the table. She was appointed in this position because she shares the same opinion as the men who want her to, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just another like chess piece. She's there because they needed a woman, and she was easily, I don't know, swayed in their direction. Like, I don't know how anybody could take her seriously, to be honest.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mhm.
When you
Mhm.
turn on the news in Canada and you look at your lower level, that's a bravo, little nod there. When you look at your lower level across the border friends in the US, what do you see? Like how does Canada? What's the narrative around about the US from an international perspective, from someone that shares a border with us?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're terrified for you. That's one. We're watching as outsiders everything happen. We have been greatly affected, like our trade, a lot of jobs have been affected by all of the decisions that, our fellow Americans are being forced to make right now. But I think that the biggest thing that's honestly brought a lot of us back together as Canadians, is the fact that we're proud to be Canadian and we do not want to be the 51st state.
Are you sure?
Um,
You
I
don't want your
mean, we
universal health
love you.
care taken away. You don't want your
No.
right to make decisions over your own body as a woman taken away. You don't want those things?
I mean, yeah, they come in handy. And like they come with the good and the bad, right? Like universal health care. Yeah, am I gonna sit here and tell you that it's perfect? Absolutely not. We have our own set of problems. We don't want yours to. That's, I think,
100%. I hear
where we're
that.
at. That and like our country is we're proud to be here, and I feel like our way of thinking is just so different. So yeah, I think that that's kind of like where we're at. Like we're seeing, and like there's a big chunk of like we want to keep supporting the US as well, but they've made it really hard for us at this point. As somebody who travels quite a bit, I think that after my last experience in the US, I'd probably think twice about traveling. I mean, I was detained for almost 4 hours and I was just going to a birthday party. So um, it's scary times for sure.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I mean, there's people being abducted off of the street that have no criminal history, that have been in the US for years, that are in the process of getting their immigration papers through going through the legal process, being abducted
Yeah,
by people wearing masks, people that are not identifying
terrifying.
themselves. They have no they have a warrant for a different person. It is absolutely terrifying, and the military is not supposed to be used against the civilians. And there was a military
No.
presence here in LA where I
Yeah.
live, so there's some really terrifying moments. And I think that in the past, at least what we have been told and fed through our media, is that what the US
Mhm.
does can in a positive way, shape the way the rest of the world operates or looks at things. And
Sure, if we want to go back to 1920,
right. And then I'm
like
saying in this
yeah,
instance, like we're
our
doing the
founding father.
opposite of the things that we preach. Like we send our congressmen and our senators to other countries to help establish democracy and what voting should look like. And right now, I'm terrified of the fact that, first of all, yeah, we are reclining, sometimes not even just back to the 1950s, like even worse than that, with some of the
Further.
policies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what does that do? How does that shape the rest of the world? Like, the good thing is that I'm hearing from you is that Canada is like, we don't want to be like that. So we'd rather all come together. It's more unifying than divisiveness like that we have here. So that's good
Yeah.
news to hear.
For sure, because there has been a divide here too, right? Like, I mean, we just had an election, and again, we'll save that for a whole other podcast. But there has been a massive divide in Canada, and I think just this one thing alone, really coming together and unifying as a country, like, no, we will stand strong, to protect our resources here in Canada, and I hope that the government that is in power right now is willing to stand strong and like fight for us. So here's to hoping.
Here's to hoping. All right. So why don't we go grab our drinks? You can tell me about.
The summer I turned pretty.
Yeah. So we're going to go grab a drink. We're going to come back. We're going to end on something positive and smooth. We're going to have a little espresso martini to close out the week. So we'll be right back in the power of podcasting. Okay, guys, welcome back. I know it's been, for you that have been watching or listening, 10 seconds, but for us, it's been about 5 minutes. So we have an espresso martini here. Mine is with tequila. And cheers.
Ooh, cheers. I pulled out a very special glass. This glass, if you can see it, says Samantha. It's from my Sex in the City
Shut up.
martini glass set straight out of 2007.
I am
We
obsessed with it. That is so cute.
Cosmos out of this. Yeah, right. So I pulled out Samantha because I miss her. I miss
I
her
miss
dearly.
Samantha too.
So
Cheers.
cheers to Samantha and to you.
All right, Anne. So let's end with two things. You have to tell me about the summer I turned pretty, and then you have to tell everyone about one of your 3 businesses so they can follow you.
Okay.
They can get some higher learning education. So why don't you kick us off with the summer I turned pretty?
Okay, so I'm obsessed. I love a good tween movie, if you will. And like I've rewatched season 1 and 2 of this show multiple times. How embarrassing. But I love it because it just gives you that feeling, right? I am Team Conrad. For those of you who have watched and know what we're talking about, I'm Team Conrad the entire way. Jeremiah is just too much of a golden retriever for me. I like more of black cat energy. So, yeah, he's just I'll do whatever you want me to do. For me. But so the new season just dropped, first 2 episodes this week on Wednesday. And so far enthralled. It's just like everything that you ever went through as a teenager, breakups, friendships, relationship problems with your best friend. It's just so relatable. So Jeremy, get on board already. Jeez.
Okay, I'm a Ginny and Georgia boy, but I can incorporate a summer I turned. What is it? Summer
Oh my God,
I turned.
Yeah.
Summer I turned pretty.
Pretty.
Okay. All right, I can incorporate that.
Yeah, and I think it's relatable because we all went through that glow up summer, right?
I'm still going through the glow up summer.
Women, like it was when I went to I don't know how old I was, I forget, but I went from an A cup to a D cup, and everybody took notice.
Whoa.
Yeah, like my glow up was really there.
Yeah, it was impactful for your back, 100%.
Yeah, and it's crazy, like, because as a girl, you go through when going through that where it's like all of a sudden, like I had 6 brothers. I was a nobody. Like nobody looked at me like a girl. And then yeah, that first summer that I was gonna rock a two-piece and everybody was like, "Who is this?" Um, it like, yeah, it does something to you. So I love it. Such a good show.
Amazing. For a boy, it's when the voice drops, and then all of a sudden everyone's like,
Yeah.
when do your voice? I remember I said this to my nephew like a year or two ago, and he just like turned bright red, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It's that
Yeah.
feeling of like
Sound like
changing,
a
going
man.
into the next journey of your life. Yeah, and we have all these moments, but those are one of the first like foundational moments when you really stop being a kid and you start to like move into adulthood, and it powerful
Totally.
and terrifying all at the same time. Okay, I'll go to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about
Yeah.
you,
Do it. I
Ange,
feel
and
like
tell us about one of your 3 businesses. What are you doing? How can people support you?
well, I've always been really passionate about education, and one of the biggest things that when I took from my time in the beauty industry was all of the education and the mentorship and the leadership. And higher learning was born because myself and Rebecca, my business partner, saw this big gap, and like I was getting calls all the time, like, "Hey, leave one LP and come build me a sales team." And like I coming into this industry led the largest scaled sales team to date. Like I had 23, a team of 23 under me, like boots on the ground. And because of the training that I had received, they all have done really well. A lot of them have gone on to director roles, VP roles, like leadership roles themselves. So yeah, Higher Learning was born. We've developed a sales training app for any licensed producers out there who are interested. And online, we've created a presence of just like that big sister for the sales reps. Like, no question is a stupid question. If you don't want to ask your leader that you're reporting to, like, come ask us. We're helping with resumes. We help coach people when they have interviews and they're looking to grow. We're helping them figure out ways to work smarter and not harder, how to use ChatGPT in a way that's going to actually help you do your job better. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. So it's been really cool.
Well, I'm so proud of you. I love your passion. For all of you that want to learn more about stepping into your power, having more confidence, having more tools, I will tag Angela if you're watching the video version here. First of all, thank you for watching. As Wendy Williams would say, I love you for watching. But you will see Angela's Instagram handle at Higher Learning Coaches. So please follow her, reach out. There's tons of great tools. There's different ways to get mentorship and get involved. And thank you, Angela, for being our first guest on
Thank you.
Pop-Litical Read. And thank you for joining. We're officially joining you as a member of the Culture Caucus. Cheers.
Cheers.
If it pissed you off that women still aren't being believed, that we've stripped immigrants of dignity and respect, or that we're relying on Olivia Benson for justice, same. Be mad, but don't stop there. Check out RAIN, the largest anti-sexual violence network. The Joyful Heart Foundation, helping survivors heal and reclaim power. Indivisible, organizing communities to hold elected officials accountable. And the Shameless Foundation, fighting loud and unapologetically for reproductive freedom. Tap, follow, keep the shade alive, and join me next week when we do it all over again. Until then, stay petty, Culture Caucus.